glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 92 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video, as you can tell by that deliciously clickbaity title, it's about Alfredo Morelos, it's about Jermain Defoe, who should be bloody starting. Now you might be thinking, CJ, you asked this question in yesterday's video, are you that desperate for content you're dragging it out for a full video? Yes. Nah, in truth, it was actually some of you guys, some of the nation in yesterday's video, because obviously it was a fan recap of the victory over Hearts, which everyone was all excited about, and I just spent about 15 seconds and just asked Alfredo Morelos or Jermain Defoe, and some of the comments, to be fair to the nation down there, was like, everyone's just going to say Defoe because it's a fan recap, everyone's excited about the game, you should make an individual video on it, that way it's more balanced, and it's not just going to go with the guy who started the game. Because this discussion isn't going anywhere, you see it all over Twitter, all over forums, it's absolutely everywhere right now. I mean, even Alfredo Morelos is sending little reminders and showing who's the daddy at the Glasgow Rangers. He fired up in yesterday's Instagram when everyone was all celebrating Jermain Defoe. He was like, aye, I'm the top goal scorer, I'm the Players Player of the Year, I'm the daddy at Rangers, I'll be back soon. And is it just me, or is Alfredo Morelos basically saying you can shove Defoe up your arse, I'm back in one more game? Let's start off with Alfredo Morelos, because the man has had a spectacular season with the Glasgow Rangers. He's only one goal off making 30 goals in a single season. It's been a terrific year from Alfredo Morelos, from the first whistle to basically the last time he actually played. It was box office. You see that clickbait all over the place, but that is genuinely what it is. And yes, we've seen some negative things and we'll speak about that in a minute, but let's focus on the good, because there was about 5 or 6 games right off the top of my head I'm thinking about Alfredo Morelos single-handedly dragging us through those games, getting us the 3 points, battling defenders. When we couldn't string 2 passes together, he was backing into boys, winning the ball and just running through and scoring himself. He was the best striker in the SPFL this season, and you look at his actual stats, he's among about 8 Rangers players that's ever hit over 25 goals in a single top flight Scottish season, and he's only 1 goal away from hitting 30 goals. Now, question time, without googling, who was the last Rangers striker to hit 30 goals in a single campaign? Let me know your answers down in the comment section below. But taking a step away from the goals, the connection that he has with the fans that we have with him, we absolutely love him to death. He's really young, he's getting better in every single season. You see it from last season to now. The guy's clearly got world class potential, and that's probably the best striker we've had in a very long time. However, it doesn't just stop there, you know what I mean? He didn't just put a full stop in that season saying he almost got 30 goals, a fantastic player, he's won us a game, he's been the best striker in the league this year. There's another side of Alfredo Morelos which unfortunately you need to talk about, and it's hurt us all season long. It's the aggressiveness in the wrong way, getting involved in stuff he doesn't need to get involved in. In that 2-0 loss to Aberdeen just a couple of weeks ago, he would rather run into someone and throw himself to the ground rather than go and collect the ball. Sometimes he gets this victim mentality when he's actually on the field, and he just blows his temper, and it just starts to drop far too easily. There's a lot of negatives with Alfredo Morelos as well. Again, I'm just being fair, I absolutely love him. He's Kennedy, I've sung his praise all season long. I genuinely love the guy, but you just need to take a step back and just look at the negatives as well, because that's the only way we were going to decide between Alfredo Morelos and Jermain Defoe. And last but not least, before we speak about Jermain Defoe and speak about some of his benefits, you have to look at the 5 red cards this season. 5. That's a European record, by the way. And when you break down those sending offs, it's always in the big games when we need them the most, when we need the true Alfredo Morelos that gets involved in something. Whether it's the referee's been too quick with our first yellow card, whatever, but he's not smart enough to not get involved in the next one, and it comes back to haunt us each and every single time. But let's stick a pin on the Alfredo Morelos discussion for just a moment, and let's jump over to Jermain Defoe and start speaking about some of his positives and negatives as well. The biggest positive right away when you speak about Jermain Defoe is just his experience. I mean, he's been there, he's done it all, he's cool, he's composed every single time in the box. He doesn't look hurried, he doesn't look like he's going to do something silly. He's just so composed. When defenders are trying to give him a wee niggle, like you've seen Suter just trying to give him a wee shove, give him a wee nudge in the Hearts game, he just laughs it off and he just backs into them the right way. He's very, very clever inside the box, and he's very unselfish and very team oriented. You saw that perfectly versus versus Motherwell where he was inside the box. It was at 2-0 at this point. Arfield had scored 2 goals. Now he has a chance to shoot a goal. It's not the best angle, but he could easily shoot, and I think every other striker in the books at Rangers Football Club would have shot that. But he's so calm, he's not phased at all about being in the box. He just lifts his head, he sees Arfield, he just slips it to him, and that wraps up the game and also gives his teammate a hat-trick. He doesn't care if it's him that's scoring or anyone else, as long as the ball was going to the back of the net. And let's be fair, in the last couple of games he's just been utterly class. Now the negatives with Jermain Defoe is obviously they're very different style of players. You know what I mean? Alfredo Morelos can hold 2 players off and just battle away all day long. Jermain Defoe, even though he showed versus Berra that he can get his body in and win a couple of wee knockdowns and that's not his game. It's a very different play style. You basically need to put him into the box the majority of the time, and that's where he'll get his chances. So I think for Jermain Defoe, we need to work harder as a team to get him his chances. With Alfredo Morelos, we can just kick it to him and he can make his own chances. And another negative that's not really getting spoken about is Jermain Defoe throughout the entire 90 minutes, because he's getting subbed off every time between about the 60 and 70 minutes. He's never lasted a full 90 minutes as of yet in the SPFL when he's been starting since replacing Alfredo Morelos. He's always getting took off. Kyle Lafferty's coming on as well, so there is a wee bit of stamina issue. If it's 0-0, I'm not saying that Gerrard would now have subbed him off, but I'm just going by what I've seen. It comes off every single time about the 60th to 70th minute. So with that being said, and both players' positives and negatives being discussed, let's turn our attention to Steven Gerrard, because I think this is a vital part in the old discussion between Alfredo Morelos and Jermain Defoe. What he said is all season long, when you've earned the chance to go out there and play for Rangers, that jersey belongs to you, and it's up to you to keep that jersey with good performances. As long as you're performing good, you'll keep the jersey on your back. He said that since the day he walked in, and he's continued to say it and challenge his players each and every single time. And for the most part, whenever someone's dropped below par, they've been took out and someone else has been given a chance. And Alfredo Morelos, right at the start of the season, earned that chance with some great goals and some great performances, and all season long he's continued to work hard, bar the games he was obviously suspended. But Gerrard backed him, the fans backed him, and he was given another chance to prove it, and 9 times out of 10 he actually did. Whenever he came back from the previous suspension, he would come in, score a couple of goals, a hat-trick here, a hat-trick there, and he would prove that he still owned that Rangers jersey. However, the 5th and final sending off so far this season versus Celtic, this was the first time you saw Gerrard actually come out and actually challenge Alfredo Morelos. You saw obviously the PR with Rangers and everything like that. Alfredo Morelos had to come out and give an apology to the fans because it was that serious. I mean, he really let us down in that last Old Firm game, and I think that was the first time all season long that Gerrard says, right, now I need to actually be strong and strict with Alfredo Morelos. I can't just put my arm around him each and every single time. So he lost that jersey when he got that 5th and final suspension, and while he was serving his suspension, Jermain Defoe came in, given a chance in the jersey, and he's played absolutely tremendous. I mean, you look at his stats. In the last 3 games, he's got 2 goals, he has 2 assists, and he has 2 goals incorrectly ruled offside. That kind of stats are absolutely amazing. He's averaging a goal every 89 minutes. So if the saying that the gaffer said since the first day he's walked in the door is true, when Alfredo Morelos does come back from the suspensions, he's going to need to earn it and wait for his opportunity to win that jersey back. Because can you imagine, right, after next week when we play Aberdeen, that we just give the jersey right back to Alfredo Morelos? What kind of message is that sending to each and every other player in the Rangers team? Even when you come in and you play well, someone else is just going to get picked ahead of you. It doesn't really make sense, and I think it'd be negative on the actual overall squad to just go, yeah, you played really well, but we're actually just going to put this guy in here over the top of you, even though you've been performing out your skin. Now, before you guys fire in your opinions about Alfredo Morelos and Jermain Defoe, let's look at the actual stats then, shall we? And let's start off with Alfredo Morelos, because even with the 5 suspensions in the games he's missed, it's been a terrific season. Played 45 games, he has 29 goals and 11 assists. That's a goal contribution of 40 goals in 45 games. That is frightening. Now, obviously, he's had 15 yellow cards as well, which is almost a record in the SPFL as well. He's breaking records everywhere. And also the 5 red cards that we've obviously spoken about. 3 of them being straight red cards, and 2 other ones that's been 2 yellow card offences. Jumping over to Defoe. The man has played 16 games in all competitions, most of them not being starts. He sits at 7 goals and 7 assists as well in those 16 games. So that gives him a goal contribution of 14 goals in just 16 appearances. Again, that's including 5-minute cameos here, the 2 minutes they had in one of the games and the 13 minutes they got subbed on for another game as well. Truly remarkable stats. I mean, we're really lucky. We've got 2 strikers here that's just got ridiculous stats. Whenever they play, they're either getting a goal or assist. How lucky are we? So, stats didn't help us at all. The one thing that may help us though, and that's been the last 3 games, with this new formation that we've deployed clearly for Jermain Defoe, that's been said, it's been picked for him and our field to get this partnership the way they intertwine with each other. It's absolutely brilliant with that extra man in the midfield as well, which has been Stephen Davis. This new formation we've been playing since Morelos has went out the team, they sort of combat the inability to just kick the ball up to him, hold it and then flood the box. We need to make our own chances. I think we play better without Alfredo Morelos than when he is in the actual team, because I think the last 3 matches since Alfredo Morelos has been suspended is better than the 3 when he was starting. Now, I'm not sitting here saying Alfredo Morelos couldn't come in there for Jermain Defoe and play the same role, but I just think when he's on the team, he's the focal point, you know what I mean? But when he's out of the team, it's no one man's army, it's nothing like that. Other players have got to step up, and step up they actually have. We've scored 9 goals in the 3 games since he's been missing. So with everything that's been said in today's video, all that's left is for you to get your opinion down in the comment section below, and please do, because I genuinely want to know who you would play for the rest of the season. Is it Alfredo Morelos or Jermain frickin' Defoe? And while you're writing down your opinions, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I'm going to go with Jermain Defoe. That's right, before I get slaughtered, because I'm pretty sure everyone will probably pick Alfredo Morelos. I just think the way we've been playing, it's so free and it's unpredictable, and I'm genuinely enjoying watching us. And also, just to help Morelos, the fact that he can't just come back from another suspension and walk right into the team, I think will do a lot of good for Alfredo Morelos and actually show him that his place is up there for grabs, that he isn't just above everyone in the team. He actually needs to learn from his mistakes that he hasn't learned all season long. I think if we bench him for the rest, or even a couple of games at least, and at least show him that he's no bigger than the team, that'll genuinely benefit us in the long run with Alfredo frickin' Morelos. But that's it for today's video. All that's left is to hear from the people. So jump over to Twitter then, let's get it loaded up. I've not seen the results just, oh my god. There's been 866 votes, 69% of the people votes for Jermain Defoe. I did not see that one coming. Let's see what they've had to say. Davey says, in order to sell Morelos at decent money, I think he needs to play. Defoe deserves the jersey though. Mohammed writes in, really tough one. Morelos does a lot more than Defoe. I'd start Defoe and bring Morelos on, and if he behaves himself, start him and give him another chance in the old firm. Bob Steele writes in, Defoe for me. The current setup where Defoe is getting plenty of service is clearly working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like that, mate. I like that all day. Andy Amato writes in, never change a winning team. Craig Patterson writes in, Morelos for me. Although Defoe has hit form lately, I think defenders would be more cautious going up against Morelos rather than Jermain Defoe. Completely fair. Ian FC writes in, Defoe easily scores open goals and doesn't get sent off. Fair. And the last one we'll actually read out in today's video comes from Bounty Hunter, and he says, 2 up top, let's go for it. And agreed, that does sound exciting, and I genuinely would love to see Alfredo Morelos and Defoe play up front, but not anymore, not with this new formation that's been working. If we did play them 2 up top together, we'd be sacrificing that man in the midfield, that Stephen Davis who's just been playing so well, and I genuinely just love this new formation and it's working well with Jermain Defoe. So that's the only reason I wouldn't go 2 up top, and that's why I didn't discuss it in today's video. But again, that's completely fair point as well. And with that being said, that's us all done and dusted. You've heard from myself, you've heard from the people. If you haven't done so already, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. If you would like to see some charity tickets to watch a charity football game, which I will be involved in a lot with other Scottish YouTubers, the link for that is down in the description. Raising money for Sam H, which is a mental health and suicide prevention charity. Very, very serious, and I'd love all the support from the nation as much as possible so we can raise as much money and help as many people as we can. The link for that again is down in the description, and as always the Patreon link is down there as well if you would like to support the channel. I've been CJOver92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.